Let's be real for a second. A few years ago, when people traveled, the goal was simple: find a good hotel, check in, sleep, and leave. But today, travel has become more personal. People don't just look for a place to stay anymore. They look for experiences. Whether it's a rooftop apartment in Tokyo, a beachfront villa in Bali, or a cozy cabin far from the city, travelers now want places that feel memorable. And that shift completely changed the hospitality industry.
Because suddenly, hospitality was no longer just about hotels. It became about flexibility, personalization, convenience, and experience. And right in the middle of that shift was Airbnb, a company that entered an industry dominated by giants like Marriott International and Hilton Worldwide, and still managed to reshape how people travel.
To recap Airbnb's external analysis, let's first look at the 5 forces shaping the hospitality industry. Because while the industry continues to grow, competition has also become more intense than ever.
Entry is still possible through boutique hotels, service apartments, and short-term rental platforms. However, competing at a global scale is difficult because companies need capital, strong brand trust, technology, distribution networks, and regulatory compliance. Next is the substitutes. Travelers can stay with relatives, use second homes, shorten trips, or replace travel with virtual meetings. But these alternatives still cannot fully replace lodging privacy, safety, convenience, and service quality. For the bargaining power of suppliers, key suppliers include host property owners, labor, technology vendors, and service providers. Supplier power becomes stronger in premium or highly regulated markets where accommodation supply is limited. To the buyers, hospitality customers today have endless choices. They compare prices, reviews, amenities, and policies almost instantly. So buyer power is definitely moderate. And lastly, the strongest force in the industry is existing rivalry. Airbnb competes directly with Marriott International, Hilton Worldwide, hotels, resorts, service apartments, and vacation rental platforms. Hotels focus on rooms. Airbnb focuses on experiences.
Overall, the hospitality industry remains moderately attractive. There are still strong growth opportunities due to the global tourism recovery. However, profitability remains pressured by strong rivalry and moderate buyer, supplier, and substitute pressure, which means Airbnb must continuously strengthen differentiation, customer retention, and platform reliability.
Beyond competition, Airbnb also operates in a global environment filled with both risks and opportunities. And to better understand Airbnb's position in the hospitality industry, it's important to compare how it competes against major rivals like Marriott International and Hilton Worldwide. Airbnb operates as a digital marketplace connecting over 5 million hosts with travelers across more than 220 countries and jurisdictions. Meanwhile, Marriott and Hilton operate massive hotel networks with thousands of physical properties, standardized operations, and global loyalty ecosystems. In terms of infrastructure, Airbnb focuses heavily on platform governance, technology scalability, and navigating short-term rental regulations worldwide. Marriott and Hilton, on the other hand, focus more on franchise management, property operations, and maintaining brand standards across thousands of hotels. Their workforce models are also very different. Airbnb maintains a smaller internal workforce supported by third-party operations and remote work flexibility through its live and work anywhere approach. Meanwhile, Marriott and Hilton rely on large-scale property management teams, standardized training systems, and brand consistency across dozens of hotel brands worldwide. Technology is another major point of competition. Airbnb's strength comes from its AI-driven platform, including listing matching, fraud detection, and others. Meanwhile, Marriott and Hilton focus heavily on digital guest convenience through mobile app, loyalty integration, contactless check-in, and digital room keys. Another key difference between Airbnb, Marriott, and Hilton is procurement. Airbnb mainly sources digital infrastructure like software, cloud services, and payment systems. Meanwhile, Marriott and Hilton procure physical hotel supplies, furniture, fixtures, and equipment across thousands of properties, while also strengthening customer retention through co-branded credit card partnerships. Airbnb scales through over 9 million active listings and 5.5 million hosts worldwide using a marketplace model. Meanwhile, Marriott and Hilton expand through franchise, managed, own, and lease hotel operations across millions of physical rooms. So while hotel chains grow through property expansion, Airbnb grows faster through platform and host network expansion. Operationally, Airbnb and hotel chains also function very differently. Airbnb follows a decentralized marketplace model model where hosts manage the actual guest experience. Meanwhile, Marriott and Hilton maintain full-service hospitality operations, including housekeeping, food and beverage, concierge services, and property-level customer support. Guest access also shows a key difference between the three companies. Airbnb uses a host-driven model through its app and digital support tools, while Marriott and Hilton combine mobile check-in and digital keys with full hotel staff operations and on-site services. When it comes to attracting customers, Marriott and Hilton have one massive advantage: loyalty programs. Airbnb, meanwhile, relies more on brand equity, personalization, direct platform traffic, and strong network effects instead of a traditional loyalty tier system. Post-stay engagement also differs across the three companies. Airbnb focuses on reviews, air cover, and rebooking support, while Marriott and Hilton rely more on hotel managed service recovery and loyalty rewards through Bonvoy and honors programs. Strategically, Marriott and Hilton compete through consistency, scale, and standardized global hospitality. Airbnb competes through flexibility, local immersion, and unique travel experiences. And that difference is what makes Airbnb one of the most disruptive companies in the modern hospitality industry. But despite these differences, one thing remains true for all three companies. Success in hospitality today is no longer driven by rooms alone, but it's driven by technology, customer experience, operational efficiency, and the ability to continuously adapt to changing traveler expectations. Despite the pressures surrounding the hospitality industry, Airbnb continues to hold several powerful internal strengths, and these are Airbnb's core competencies. Highly asset-light platform model, Airbnb doesn't own properties. That drives gross margins far above competitors and keeps debt-to-asset ratios in single digits while rivals carry heavy real estate leverage. Superior cash conversion engine, Airbnb converts a much higher percentage of revenue into operating cash. Free cash flow is significantly larger than both Marriott and Hilton, giving the company more fuel for growth without borrowing. Digital platform and network effects. This is a true two-sided marketplace. Revenue growth over the past 4 years keeps pace with or exceeds major hotel chains. Yet Airbnb achieves this without owning any physical properties. Direct brand-driven marketing. Airbnb doesn't compete on standardized rooms or loyalty points. The brand is built on belonging and authentic local experiences. Debt-free growth capability. Debt to assets is a fraction of what competitors carry. Liquidity is strong, while Marriott and Hilton both have liabilities exceeding their assets. These 5 competencies work together: higher margins, faster cash conversion, network-driven scale, a differentiated brand, and debt-free financial resilience. That's Airbnb's internal advantage.
After comparing Airbnb with Marriott and Hilton, the next question is, what gives these companies their competitive strength? That's where the VRIO analysis becomes important, because success in hospitality is not just about size, but about sustaining competitive advantage. Most of Airbnb's resources are valuable, including its marketplace, trust systems, AI tools, co-host network, and experiences. What differentiates Airbnb more strongly is its brand-driven marketing and platform engagement. Marriott's strengths came from its scale and multi-brand portfolio, but its stronger advantage comes from its luxury and lifestyle brands, which support premium positioning and expansion into new hospitality segments. Hilton also benefits from global scale, with loyalty programs, franchise growth, and digital guest experiences. Hilton's key differentiation lies in its luxury positioning, operational efficiency, and digital hospitality investment, creating temporary competitive advantages. Financially, Airbnb stands out despite generating less revenue than Marriott. It demonstrates stronger profitability, stronger cost efficiency, and lower financial risk. Marriott remains the largest by revenue at over $26 billion. Meanwhile, Airbnb and Hilton generate similar revenue at around $12 billion, with both companies growing faster than Marriott from 2021 to 2025. Airbnb leads in profitability, with gross margins near 83% due to its highly asset-light platform model. Airbnb also maintains low debt, positive equity, and strong liquidity. It also generates the strongest operating cash flow relative to revenue, giving it greater flexibility for investments and growth. Overall, Marriott leads through global scale, Hilton through operational efficiency, and Airbnb through profitability, scalability, and platform-driven growth. While traditional hotel companies rely heavily on physical operations, Airbnb scales mainly through technology, network effects, and its platform ecosystem.
So with all these changes happening at the same time, what will determine success in the future?
First is AI-powered platform intelligence, which improves personalization, pricing, customer support, and booking efficiency. Second is loyalty ecosystem and direct booking capture to strengthen customer retention. Third is regulatory navigation and compliance infrastructure to adapt faster to stricter rental laws. Fourth is financial resilience and leverage management, since stable finances help businesses survive downturns. Fifth is accommodation supply diversity to attract different traveler segments. And lastly, operational efficiency and margin discipline to maintain long-term profitability.
So when we connect Airbnb's external analysis, PESTEL analysis, future key success factors, and internal core competencies, one thing becomes very clear. Airbnb operates in a hospitality industry that is highly competitive, heavily regulated, and constantly evolving.
At the same time, the company continues to hold strong advantages through technology, brand positioning, platform scale, and customer experience. But the real question now is this: can Airbnb sustain these advantages long-term while facing increasing competition and global uncertainty?
And that's exactly what we'll analyze in the next part. Because understanding the industry is one thing, but understanding how Airbnb strategically responds to these challenges is what truly explains its position in the global hospitality market.
And now, let's get straight into Airbnb's SWOT analysis.
First, strengths. Airbnb has three major advantages. Number 1, financial power. Number 2, network scale. Over 5 million hosts, 2.5 billion guest arrivals across 220 countries. And number 3, brand differentiation, where no hotel chain can match their inventory.
Now weaknesses, and these are significant. No quality control. Airbnb doesn't own the properties, so guest experience varies wildly by host. Another is regulatory vulnerability and host dissatisfaction, with 42% of hosts thinking Airbnb's algorithm is unfair. No loyalty program. And finally, seasonal revenue.
On the opportunity side, 3 stand out. First, international underpenetration. Second, the customer trends, where people want authentic and local travel over branded hotels. And lastly, AI personalization.
Finally, threats. First is the regulation. Global STR bans are spreading. Next is tax exposure and currency risk. 56% of revenue is non-US dollar. Additionally, disintermediation. Google and AI travel tools are eroding Airbnb's SEO-driven traffic advantage.
Putting it all together, Airbnb has financial strength, scale, and differentiation. But its biggest vulnerabilities are no loyalty program, regulatory supply risk, and inconsistent quality.
SWOT analysis identifies the factors. Strategic matching turns those factors into action. By aligning Airbnb's strengths and weaknesses with external opportunities and threats, we develop 4 focused strategies designed to strengthen growth competitiveness and long-term resilience. First, SO strategy. This uses strengths to chase opportunities. We call it Accelerate Emerging Market Penetration. The strategy is to deploy localized marketing, recruit hosts aggressively, and integrate local payment systems. Second, WO strategy. This fixes weaknesses by seizing the opportunities. We call it Launch an AI-powered quality certified host tier. It creates a transparent certified host tier. Third, SC strategy. This uses strengths to defend against threats. We call it Build a Regulatory Compliance Toolkit for hosts. It builds in platform compliance tools, and etc. This turns regulation from a threat into a competitive moat. Fourth, WT strategy. This reduces weaknesses to avoid threats. We call it Launch a Loyalty and Subscription Program. This tiered loyalty and subscription program flattens the QR peak, builds year-round engagement, and gives travelers a reason to start their search inside Airbnb, not on search engines. Each strategy solves a different strategic challenge: growth, quality control, regulation, and customer retention. Together, they form a roadmap for how Airbnb can protect its market position while expanding globally.
To see where Airbnb truly stands, we compared it with Marriott and Hilton across 6 key success factors.
On the AI platforms, Airbnb wins. Their 2025 app has a natural language search and AI support. On the loyalty side, Marriott and Hilton dominate, with their Bonvoy and Honor members. On the regulation, Airbnb loses supply every time a city passes an STR restriction. While in financial resilience, Marriott and Hilton carry heavy debt and negative equity. With the supply diversity, Airbnb also wins wherein no hotel chain can match their inventory and variety. While on the operational efficiency, Airbnb also dominates. No owned inventory means no depreciation, no property maintenance, and no labor costs at scale.
The scores may be close, but the competitive advantages are very different. The next phase of competition won't be decided by who owns the most rooms, but by who creates the strongest traveler ecosystem.
To close the gap with Marriott and Hilton, Airbnb has 4 strategic alternatives. Let's take a look and assess individually. Airbnb faces real competition from Marriott and Hilton on loyalty, consistency, and retention. The challenge, matching their staying power without losing the local, experience-first identity that sets Airbnb apart. First alternative, go all in on emerging markets. The play is simple: localize brand campaign, recruit better hosts on the ground, and integrate local payment methods. Second alternative, fix the consistency problem with AI. Right now, Airbnb doesn't control listing quality. That's the risk. So create a certified host tier. AI helps verify cleanliness, accuracy, responsiveness. This stuff guests actually stress about. Third alternative, turn regulation into a feature, not a threat. Cities are banning short-term rentals or slapping on new rules. Instead of just reacting, Airbnb builds tools that help hosts handle permits, taxes, and compliance paperwork automatically. Fourth alternative, launch a real loyalty and subscription program. Booking credits, off-peak rewards, priority support. Give people a reason to open the Airbnb app first, not search engines.
4 strategies. 1 addresses new markets. 1 fixes quality. 1 protects supply. 1 builds loyalty. Next, we evaluate which one makes the most sense for Airbnb.
We scored each alternative across 6 key success factors. On AI-powered platform intelligence, the AI service assurance strategy led with a 4. On loyalty ecosystem, the loyalty program also scored a 4. On regulatory navigation, host compliance dominated with a 4. And on financial resilience, supply diversity, and operational efficiency, scores were solid and consistent across the board. Now, the totals. Emerging markets with rank 4. Service assurance, rank 3. Host compliance in rank 2, and the loyalty and subscription with 2.84 in rank 1. So the recommendation is clear. Airbnb Loyalty Growth Strategy. It addresses Airbnb's lack of a formal loyalty program. It also encourages repeat and direct booking. It helps smoothen seasonal demand, and it challenges Marriott Bonvoy and Hilton Honors on their home turf. But here's the important part. It needs to make its platform more repeatable, more trusted, and more loyalty-driven, while preserving its unique local travel identity. One thing is for sure, loyalty can be used to leverage. Now, we move forward on the next move with this strategy.
To ensure Airbnb delivers long-term value, we develop a balanced scorecard across 4 key perspectives.
First, financial. Airbnb has strong revenue growth, doubling from 2021 to 2025, but operating margins are still lower than hotel competitors. To improve this, Airbnb introduces a loyalty program to increase repeat bookings and reduce marketing costs. The goal is 12% annual revenue growth, stable operating income above 20%, and sustained strong free cash flow. Second, the customer. Airbnb currently lacks a formal loyalty system, unlike competitors such as Marriott and Hilton. The proposed loyalty program rewards repeat bookings, referrals, and engagement across guests and hosts. Targets include 50 million members, 60% repeat bookings, and 10% annual growth in new users. Third, internal process. 3 things to build: the technology, the rewards, and the tiers. The 2025 app gives us the foundation. We add the loyalty engine on top, live within 12 months. Rewards are capped at 2% of revenue to protect our 83% gross margin, and 3 tiers: base, plus, premium, targeting 10% in paid tiers by year 2. Lastly, learning and growth. 2 enablers: people and differentiation. We stand up a dedicated loyalty team by end of year 1. Without it, loyalty loses to every other priority, and we bundle experiences into the program, turning Airbnb's biggest differentiator into a loyalty advantage. Target 15% of revenue from non-stays by year 3.
Turning loyalty into belonging. Airbnb is designed to transform occasional travelers into lifelong community members. Let's take a look at the implementation plan.
The first phase focuses on Airbnb's internal preparation before launching the loyalty program. Airbnb will form a cross-functional implementation team and set financial limits to protect margins and free cash flow. Key indicators include completion of the loyalty design, approval of the reward budget, formation of the implementation team, and the establishment of baseline performance metrics. The second phase focuses on building and testing the loyalty system. Airbnb will develop the loyalty engine, integrate AI personalization, launch pilot programs in selected markets, and strengthen fraud prevention systems. Important measures include loyalty enrollment, repeat booking rates, direct booking share, reward redemption, and fraud incidents.
The third phase strengthens trust and service quality across the platform. Airbnb will connect loyalty rewards with quality listings, launch Host Academy training, and expand the program into more markets. Key indicators include the percentage of certified listings, Host Academy completion rates, loyalty-linked bookings, dispute resolution speed, and market expansion coverage. These KPIs ensures that loyalty growth is supported by reliable guest experiences and stronger operational quality. The final phase focuses on global expansion and long-term strategic management. Airbnb will launch the local ecosystem globally, introduce subscription-based benefits, optimize reward economics, and expand partnerships for added customer value. This phase transforms the loyalty program into a more long-term strategic capability rather than a short-term marketing initiative. Key targets include loyalty membership growth, repeat guest booking rates, revenue growth, operating income margins, free cash flow margins, and employee engagement.
More than a rewards program, it becomes a strategy for deeper loyalty, stronger host value, and smarter global growth. A loyalty experience built around how modern travelers truly live, connect, and belong.